Can you discuss the importance of things like empathy, vulnerability, and communication when it comes to queer relationships?
Absolutely. So I have a little acronym and I call it like CAVA. And so it's communication, accountability, vulnerability, and always assuming that your partner's intentions are good. And then, of course, adding kind of that empathy in there. I mean, that's kind of involved in with vulnerability and assuming that your partner is always, their intentions are always good.
Hmm.
So it's very, very important in the therapeutic process, especially when working with couples, is emphasizing, of course, communication. I take the communications approach. I think it's Satir's communication approach, which at its core talks about how everybody has to be able to communicate congruently in order to have successful relationships. In order to feel whole, you have to communicate congruently, meaning that however you're feeling is exactly how you're communicating it.
Hmm.
And then on top of that, being empathetic not only towards other people, but towards yourself. Granting yourself with patience and granting yourself with grace during that time period is important so that you can also be able to do that for other people.
Hmm.
And then vulnerability. I feel like vulnerability is such a tough topic to talk about because nobody likes it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
Right.
hard. It feels
It's
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. Yes. And I would tell people vulnerability is itchy. Like it's like one of those like scratches like in your scalp or something that like you can't scratch too hard because then it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Like you have to balance it out. And vulnerability is incredibly important because if you are not vulnerable, then you cannot trust.
Hmm.
And same and vice versa. So what I try to do is, okay, I'm not going to say that you have to be vulnerable straight from the go because that's going to be incredibly difficult. However, what if we created a space with your partner or with your partners to where you felt safe enough to be vulnerable? So it's kind of like working backwards to get to
Yeah.
vulnerable. It's like, okay, we're going to put you in a bounce house, basically, so that you can feel comfortable enough to be able to
Yeah.
vulnerability out, and you will see how much your trust will be able to grow as a couple as long as you allow yourself to be vulnerable.
Mhm.